begin the hearing in just a moment when they tell me that they are ready to begin the live stream. Since 1999, nearly 500,000 lives have been cut short by opioid overdoses in the United States alone. These lives were taken from us too soon. They were taken unnecessarily, and they were taken unfairly. And right there in the middle of all this suffering was Purdue Pharma. Purdue has generated more than $35 billion in revenue since bringing OxyContin to market. Purdue has been owned by the Sackler family since 1952. The Sackler family has profited enormously from the OxyContin business. Yet, despite years of investigation and litigation, no member of the Sackler family has ever admitted to any wrongdoing, taken any responsibility for the devastation they caused, or even apologized for their actions.
No one really knew what would happen if you gave the whole population opiates, which is basically what we did in the United States. We made it so easy to get opiates for any patient. And I appreciate that it was probably done from the space of we're trying to help our patients. But I also believe that some of that was done because we were trying to comply with what was being sold to us.
I think the bastards should all be strung up. They knew that they were flooding the market with all of these prescription drugs. And anybody who could look at the numbers could see that they were selling vast quantities of drugs into zip codes that didn't have the population to support that kind of prescribing habits. And quite frankly, if the drugs had not been available at the time, I don't think my daughter would be addicted the way she is.
it's very rare that people feel uncomfortable. We take escalators, we take elevators. We do many things to not feel uncomfortable. So suddenly when people have discomfort, they come wanting a pill. And they come wanting a pill because that's what you do. You go to the doctor and the doctor gives you a pill to fix what you have. And I believe that the opioid crisis fed into that paradigm within our thinking. We were filled this kind of bill of goods, that, for lack of a better term, that this is all okay. And it wasn't okay.
The stigma around it is we like to think, oh, well, this person was deeply damaged in some way, and that is why they have an addiction. And I don't think that that's true. I think the drugs are powerful, and I think that maybe there's some underlying predisposition, but I also think the drugs are powerful.
When you have children, at least for most of us, I believe you have a certain degree of empathy that's magnified. And I realized very early on, when the children were small and they were toddlers, when I saw them fall, I felt physical pain watching them hit the ground. I see my daughter and her addictions, and I see the hell she's living in, and I feel that pain.
Now, how long has it been since you used any opiates?
20 days. First week I went to 3. I've been going to 2 actually. Every week is Wednesday and Friday. But there's just some, this is the best
Mr. Sackler, you are now recognized for your testimony.
Thank you. Chairwoman Maloney, Ranking Member Comer, and members of the committee. I appreciate the invitation to appear before you. I'm here to give my views in response to the committee's questions. There are many lawsuits that have blamed Purdue and my family for the opioid crisis. While we deny liability and are vigorously contesting these claims, we want to respond to the opioid crisis because a prescription medicine that our company manufactured and sold, which was never intended to harm anyone, ended up being part of a crisis that has harmed too many people. What you have heard from the press about the Sacklers is almost certainly wrong and highly distorted. We are truly sorry to everyone who has lost a family member or suffered from the scourge of addiction. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this statement. I am available to answer your questions.